to this week's New Start Monday episode. I am in shock. I have to say, I'm in shock over this week's winning project. We will get to that in a second. So, you guys all know that there was yarn up on Instagram today for you guys to vote on which project this yarn would be turned into. We'll get to that in a second. I've got updates on some Christmas knitting the last couple of weeks, New Start Monday projects, and a sock. I think that's what I've got to show you tonight. So I hope everybody has had a great week. It's Monday. We're at the start of a brand new week. I had a great weekend full of Christmassy stuff. The weather was chilly today. Definitely seemed very winterish-y out there. Definitely time to pull out hand knits. I was wearing a pair of mitts today. The wind was so chilly. Oh my gosh, you guys. I wish you guys could squish this yarn. It feels so soft. This is the yarn. That was the, this is going to be the New Start Monday yarn. You guys are voting for what I was going to turn it into. And yeah, if you're just tuning in, I was saying right at the very beginning that I am really shocked at how this vote turned out. So let's talk a little bit about the yarn, then we'll talk a little bit about what I'm going to do with it and what the actual voting ended up being. Hi, Anne. I know, isn't this gorgeous? This is some new yarn. Again, I'm being very naughty and not knitting from my stash. A couple of weeks ago, maybe about a month ago, I was down at Little Red Mitten and I wanted some yarn. I had this urge to do a candy cane scarf. Remind me if I get off track about last year's candy cane scarf, or maybe we'll save that to next week. We'll see how long I chat and how much time we've got. Yarn. I saw this on the shelf and I thought, ooh, I like this. I like a nice deep red for Christmas. I'm not an orangey red. It has to be a bluey red, kind of a cranberry burgundy. I like that a lot. So I saw this and I thought this would be nice. Jolynn from Little Red Mitten, she gave me a couple of other suggestions too, which were nice, but I came back to this. So this is Cascade 220, and there she is. Can you see Daisy? She's, I'm not sure if she's poked her head up high enough, or her tail, to see that you could see her before, but she's been around here trying to decide how she was going to get up here. There you go. So no color names, like not ruby, or I don't think there's anything on here. Red. And just a color number 2413, but it is a dark red, so it is like a cranberry red. I think it's actually darker in person than it's showing on the screen here. It's a nice dark red, and then this is just a white. So I've got 2 balls of each of these because I was envisioning a really nice long scarf. So either just wearing it draped around the neck and having it come past waist length, maybe, if possible. I don't know how many. Anyways, nice and long. So either just wearing it long, hey Jocelyn, or wrapping it a couple of times just to, you know, bundle up against that really cold wind or that dampness. So I thought this would make a good candy cane scarf. I asked in the poll, should I do a bias stripe? So just do 2 rows of white, 2 rows of red, and do it on a diagonal. And then I'm thinking, you know, maybe put a fringe on it or pom-poms, I don't know, something. Or would I do Fair Isle and do a little candy cane pattern in it with maybe some stripes and some other little patterns in between, and then do some more candy canes. This vote was so close. Every time I kept looking, it was flip-flopping back and forth. there was a lot of comments out there, and these are people who obviously, well, I was going to say, obviously have been watching me for a long time, but maybe you only need to watch me 2 or 3 times, and you quickly find out that I start way more things than I actually finish. And yes, so there was a lot of comments. Sorry, Lynn, I was reading your comment, trying to read, think, and talk at the same time, and all of a sudden I realized I'd stopped talking. So there was a lot of comments around a Fair Isle sweater would be beautiful, but it's going to take longer. So they voted for the striped scarf because it should presumably go faster. and at one point I thought, I'm like, what are the odds of me even finishing this scarf? Maybe, well, really 50-50, being optimistic. But let's hopeful, because I would really like to wear it. So we'll see. We'll see. I have a few other projects. I know some, I think it was Carrie. Carrie had left me a comment, and she was like, you have so many things to knit, but if you insist on starting something, then she voted for what she voted for. So it was close. At the beginning, it was flip-flopping back and forth between the striped and the Fair Isle candy canes, and it just kept going back and forth. And then towards the afternoon, the candy canes, they're doing a Fair Isle pattern. That was edging out in the stories, and I was all set. I was already thinking in my head how I was going to do this, how I was going to make the candy canes, which way I was going to have them facing, would I alternate them? And honest to goodness, I was set. I thought that's the winner. The last couple times I'd looked, like around 6 o'clock, 6:30, that was the winner. Not by much, but it was the winner. So I thought, okay, that's it. I sat down here to turn the camera on, and all of a sudden I thought, I never actually tallied up the numbers. I was assuming the Fair Isle won, and it did not. Bias, striped, snuck out. The Facebook posts put the bias ahead. So a nice striped candy cane scarf is the winner, which totally surprised me. Like literally, like just a few minutes ago, all of a sudden I had to be like, oh, I need to rethink what I'm doing. Well, not rethink too much, because doing a bias scarf is going to be pretty easy. Increase on one end, decrease on the other. I'm going to do it in garter stitch, so it'll be nice and squishy. But because I was already getting excited about doing some candy canes in here, I'm not going to do that in the scarf. I'm going to do the scarf just solid stripe. I'm going to follow what the winning decision was. So I'm not going to mess with that. But I'm thinking maybe like a pot holder or something with some candy canes. So maybe take the idea of what I was going to do in a scarf, but just do it in a small like pot holder kind of thing, because I think it would be fun too. Anyways, let's see. Okay, so hi to everybody who is popping in here. I'm so glad that everybody is here tonight. I hope you've got your knitting, you've got a nice hot drink. Maybe there's a Christmas Hallmark movie just, playing in the background, listening to me, watching the Hallmark movie. I had one on just a few minutes. I was watching the end of Finding Santa as I was getting all my knitting organized. Anyways, so much fun. So candy cane scarf. So the little bit of story that I was going to tell you, if you were watching me last year, you might have remembered that I started one of these scarves, and I didn't get very far on it because I didn't like the yarn. You guys most of you will know that I have a whole shelf upstairs in the yarn room filled with Christmas yarn. Red, white, and green, some of it sparkly, some of it, God help me, is boucle. That's some old stash. Some old, I think, Zeller's boucle green stuff. Anyways, I use a lot of that stuff for pom-poms to make pom-pom garlands. I had a moment last year where I thought I wanted to do a candy cane scarf, and I thought about running down and getting some nice wool to do it. And I thought, no, Louise, you have all of these balls of red and white in your stash. Just knit what you have. I don't know why I listen to myself. I don't know why I talk myself out of buying yarn. So a lot of my yarn that I have up there for pom-poms is Bernat. I'm not sure if it's Super Saver or if it's Comfort. And the reason I have it is because of the colors. I like the shade of red that it is. And they're nice. They've got a nice light green that I like, not a deep green, but a lighter, I don't even know what color it is. We'll talk about that. I don't have any, no, I just got variegated ones down here. But we'll talk about, we got lots of weeks to talk about those. So anyways, that's what I had in my stash because that stuff works great for pom-poms. And I started doing the scarf with it and I didn't like it. I didn't like it. And I thought to myself, I'll finish it, and then I didn't. So I'm going to upgrade my yarn. And I always feel a little awkward. Awkward is maybe the word, because I don't want to put down Red Heart yarn too much because it is very economical and very easy to find. I probably Walmart's have it, Lens Mills, I know this one's, yes, Lens Mills has it here, Michael's has it here, so I'm sure for you guys in the States like Hobby Lobby and Joanne would have it as well. And I know if you're on a budget, you know, and if you're tight for money and you want an economical yarn, Red Heart is great. It comes in all kinds of colors. It's, you know, there's a lot of benefits for it. It washes and dries. But for me, I just couldn't, I didn't like the feel of it enough to carry on with it. But you know what? If it works in your budget and you like it, then, you know, use it, right? But anyways, this year I decided I was going to get some nice wool, something that I was going to enjoy knitting with a little bit more. So I have it. So now I like totally have to do a mindset shift here because I was thinking, okay, Fair Isle, I was going to find a 16-inch circular. And because it was Fair Isle, I was just going to do a tube. So I was going to cast on, you know, 100-ish stitches, probably no more than 100, but something, whatever my pattern repeat was going to be. So I was kind of thinking, you know, 96, 98, 100 stitches, probably a 5mm with this, because this is a number 4. It's a worsted weight. And, oh, you saw Trish at Little Red Mitten. Hi, Amber. I know. 'Tis the season to go, well, yarn shop. Well, it's always the season to go yarn shopping, right? Anyways, what I was going to say is we talked about the colors, but this is 100% Peruvian wool. It feels nice. It feels really nice. 220 yards, because that's why it's called Cascade 220, because that's the yardage. Is there anything else on here? They're saying 18 to 20 stitches for gauge. So 18 to 20 stitches in 4 inches. So that's a worsted weight. So it's saying a 4.5 to a 5. And with color work, you typically want to go up a needle size because the floats across the back can kind of tug it in a little bit. So I was already planning, but now I buy a scarf, which means I will not do it in the round. I may still use a 16-inch needle, but I will just knit it back and forth. So it won't be double thickness, but it will be garter stitch, so it'll be nice, soft, and squishy. I have some more garter stitch to show you. Anyway, so that's it for right now. So thank you to everybody who voted. Diagonal scarf, candy cane. I'm excited. I'm really excited to start this. So I still have my ball winder set up here. My winder and my Swift are here. So I'm going to wind these tonight after we're done chatting, and I'm going to cast it on. So stay tuned. I know the last couple of weeks I've been very good about posting things to my stories on Instagram, not so much about posting progress pictures in my feed. I don't know, somehow just the last couple of weeks at work have just been really busy, and just things I haven't got that done as much. So I'm hoping with this I can post a few more progress pictures kind of every day. I'd like to post something of what I'm working on so you guys can kind of see the progress. What will I show you next? Okay, this is sitting here. We'll go with this. Lynn, I think you asked me if it was cold enough for my Thrummed mitts. Not quite. Like you didn't definitely need Thrummed mitts here, but just a regular pair of mitts certainly were welcome today. But this one here, I finished one. I can't remember last week. Was I just ready to, I would think I was just down here. Was I not? No, maybe I was ready to do decreases. Oh my gosh, I can't remember what from one week to another. Anyways, I know last week when I showed you this, I was not finished. I did though find I had dropped a stitch. Can you see that green guy there? I just was knitting around and saw him here. So I'm gonna have to just sew it down. Oh, and look, there's my little thumb. I looked at the pattern for the mitt, and it didn't say to put thrums right at the very end. It just showed doing them here, and I finished my thumb without these last thrums, and I put it on, and I thought, I don't like this. My thumb has no thrums. It was going to be cold, so I undid my last few rows, and I made some extra thrums and stuck them in there, and so now the whole thumb is totally filled with fleece, and it feels so nice and warm. I tell you, I think I could just live in these mitts. They are so cozy and warm. They're lovely. I'm hoping that I have enough fleece. I don't know, it's going to be close. But look, that's the inside. So nice and toasty warm. And I do have the second mitt started because I want to get these finished for the Fiber Friends Challenge, which is November 30th. So still have a week and a bit left, right? Maybe a week. Anyways, lots of time. I've got mitten number 2 started down to my smaller needles. I think these are 3 1/4. I am doing the ribbing on, and then I went up to a 3.75 millimeter for the body of the mitt. So this will be tomorrow night or Wednesday night. This will be about a 2 Christmas movie evening making thrums. Maybe the first, it took me about 2 movies. I measure everything in Christmas movie time here. So what's that, a couple, like 4 hours? It was like an evening of sitting and making thrums. Anyway, so that's what will be up, is getting the cuff done, making thrums, and then I will move on to make mitten number 2. And then I will have a pair and a finish, which will be exciting because I don't have any finishes to show you. I just have works in progress. Let me show you the other one that I'm really excited for. I'm going to show you this today. Will I show it next? I don't think I'll show it next week because this is part of Jocelyn and I's challenge. We decided that we're both doing socks and blankets. Anyways, this is Eric's Christmas present. I started it last week, and here it is. This is what I got done over the weekend. Had a couple of okay, well, that is the back. Here, might as well show you the front. There it is. So I am almost finished one of the Bernat blanket, Ogo, those funny looking round Bernat blanket balls of yarn. Those what we were lovingly calling yarn bananas the last couple of weeks because that's truly what they look like. Anyways, I had a couple times I had to pull back. I had decided that I was going to do stockinette stitch. I was going to do stockinette. I was going to do a nice big wide garter stitch border and stockinette. I started it and I didn't like it. I didn't like it. I just kept coming back to thinking I really wanted the squishiness of the garter. So hopefully it holds up and doesn't stretch too much. I'm hoping the fact that I went down a needle size will help hold its shape a little bit better, but it's a blanket, not a sweater, so hopefully that won't matter too much. So I have it all very carefully planned out that I need to knit so many inches, at least 2 to 3 inches every night while I watch a Christmas movie to be on track so that this can be done and ready to gift for Christmas Eve. So I think that is giving me now, what are we, about 32 days until Christmas? So it's still doable, not in panic mode yet. So I'm gonna have to work on this tonight before I go to bed too, because I don't want to get behind. But I'm liking it. It's 100 stitches wide, garter stitch, 7mm needle. I like it. I really, really like it. I'm already thinking that maybe I would make another one for me. So, fingers crossed that it can be done for Christmas. So who did I say? I'm just going to take a minute here. I saw Walter come in here. Judy asked, is there a pattern for Thrummed slippers? Yes, there is. I have never made them, but I know a few people said that they have made them. There is. So I'm sure if you take a look on Ravelry, Etsy, you know, there'll be tons of patterns out there, I'm sure. Let me see. Let me go back here. Katie said, you want to do a Fair Isle with Cascade and I need a second yarn. Can I hold you? Oh, need a second yarn. Can you? Yes. Sure. I would just say check your gauge, Katie, for sure. Oh no, Amber, Jason's faith in you has dropped. Oh no. That's not good. So Amber, what were you doing at Little Red Mitten? Shouldn't be on working. I know I should be. I should be doing a lot of things. Hi, Sam. Sherry. Oh, do a spiral striped toque. Wouldn't that be fun to have a matching hat and scarf? You are right. That would be lots of fun. So many possibilities and so not enough time. I am just taking, oh, Jason said you want my mitts, my Thrummed mitts. It's okay. I still have a week before the deadline for the podcast challenge. Okay. So we'll get back to the bottom of the comments here. Oh, that's right, you guys. Amber had her, so your test knit and you went to show it to Jillian. Yes. And then you had your yes, they pictured your wrap in their Facebook page, which was lovely. The colors that you used, it turned out great. Okay, so last week's new start was all of the minis from Full Moon Fibers. Hi, Susanna. So here is some of them here. I've got 3 of them wound up. Aren't these gorgeous colors, you guys? These 2 here, I'm not sure if these are going to make it into the cowl. Red Sky at Night and Spruce It Up. Those may be kept for a Christmas ornament. Part of the skein may go in. We'll see. We'll see. And this is Monstera. And this is Brass. And Treed Up Land. Aren't those beautiful? So I've got those ones. And then the 3 that I've wound up are, let me see if I can remember, Out and About. Isn't that pretty with greens and a little bit of gold in there? A little bit like flecks of chocolate brown. And there is this one. This one I've knit quite a bit of. This was, I think it's pumpkin spice. It might be looking a little more yellowy on camera. It's really kind of a goldy orangey color, but it's got nice, lots of tonals in there, lots of different shading going on. And the other one is Out and About. No, that was Out and About. Let It Glow is this one here that I've got wound up ready to use. Isn't that pretty too? For a pink, this is really pretty. Hi, Diane. It's got a little bit of gold, a little bit of green in there. So I haven't started knitting with this one yet. So this one here was mittens or cowl was last week's Instagram poll, and you guys all voted for cowl. Well, that was, well, not all, but that was the winning one. Oh dear. Okay, note to self and maybe anybody else out there who does silly things like me and puts 2 projects in the same bag. Not a good idea, because then they get tangled around each other. I'm using a little bag I picked up at Michael's a few years ago. So this is my little project bag that I'm using. So the minis, I've got those 3 minis wound up. I did a gauge swatch. So what I did was there was Out and About on its own, and there was Pumpkin Spice on its own, and then I put them together. So I was just really I was curious just to see how the colors looked on their own and putting them out. Oh, Amber, you've got Let It Glow. Oh, perfect. It's really a pretty color, isn't it? But this is really what I wanted to do, the cowl, was to put the 2 colors together. So this is what I worked on. Did a little gauge swatch. The top one here, where I was using 2-handed ferrule, I did a little cheater in the round swatch. Oh, yes, we can do this. I just thought while I was chatting with you, I wanted to check the size of this. Anyways, we'll see. I think we'll still try and be able to do it. This is my start. So I'm using a 16-inch needle, 4mm, and I used the pumpkin spice to do a little bit of ribbing. Not entirely sure if I'm going to keep that ribbing there or if I'm going to fold it up and just put a hem on here. I keep going back and forth on that, so we'll see how it ends up. So I've just got a nice little start on here, and I have an odd number of stitches, so I can just alternate my colors and just go around. So it is pooling. Looks like I'm almost going to have columns here, but I like it. I like it. I like that the dark greens, the oranges just mixed together. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to randomly go around with those other minis and just keep working on here. Now, I determined the number of stitches I was casting on by my gauge from my gauge swatch. And I know some of you always say, you know, even though I'm such a stickler for gauge, some of you always say, you know, I know, Louise, but sometimes gauge, it's still a measure and it lies, right? Sometimes it does. So what I want to do is I like to always tell people, check it. You know, once you've got so much done, you get a little bit done, measure it. Or because it's all bunched up on this 16-inch needle, I'm going to just slide this onto a spare needle. Now, again, this is something, do as I say, not as I do. I'm knitting on a 4mm, and this green needle, it was just sitting here. So I grabbed it. It's bigger than what I'm knitting my stitches on. Really don't want to do that because I am going to be stretching my stitches out, but I'm hoping that if I just slide them on here really quick and then get them back over, it's not going to be noticeable. I wouldn't want to slide them onto this needle and like let it sit for a week or something and then slide them back. Then I may have a row of like stretched out stitches. So anyways, I don't want that to happen. But if I get them on the cable here, I think we'll be fine, right? Anyways, so I'm going to put, I don't know, a few more on here just so I can measure it, and we'll see. I always want to make sure that the circumference around is what I'm wanting it to be, because if it's not, if it's going to be too small or too big, I might as well know right now with only this, with this under my belt, right? This was not a lot of knitting. And if I have to call this my practice, my gauge swatch, then I do, and I can pull it out and cast on the right number of stitches. Okay. And you know, I think this is going to be fine. Now that getting a better idea here. I'm going to slide on. I'm going to try and do about half. So Susanna, I'm seeing some comments there saying, glad that you're feeling better. So were you under the weather? So while I'm doing this, I can talk about my sock while I'm just sliding these. Oh, so what I should say, so if there's any newer knitters, I think most of everybody that's watching here tonight, you guys are all pretty experienced knitters, but if there's any new knitters in here, when you're sliding stitches from one needle to the other, I'm just slipping them. You always want to slip them purlwise so it doesn't twist the stitch. So I'm just putting, when I say purlwise, I just mean I'm putting the needle, the right hand needle, in purlwise into the front of that stitch as if I was going to purl it. Oh my gosh, this is totally perfect. I can, well, it looks, okay. Okay, let's measure. Grab my tape measure. What do I want this to be? I want this to be, now I'm starting to worry. Maybe it's a little bit, no, it's got to be pretty close. It might be a little bigger than I was wanting. I was kind of aiming for about 21 inches around. I think this might be a little bit more than that. Okay, 22. I think I can live with that. I think I can live with that. Can I? My gosh. Seem to have yarns tangled everywhere. Okay, anyways, we'll just. Over my glasses. Oh my goodness, look at that. I think that's going to be perfect. I wanted something that's just going to be snug, about 10 inches tall. I don't want it to be, you know, I don't want it to hang down and fold. I want it to stand up, to be warm, to be able to wear out inside my coat. Okay. Wiggle it off over my glasses. Okay, I am happy with this. I am happy with this. I am just going to carry back on. I am going to slide it back on. Isn't that amazing though, how much bigger it is when it's not all squished onto that 16-inch needle. So there's a look at the colors again. So Let It Glow is going to be the next one that I put in there. I'm just going to decide how much more I want to do on this. Let's see. I'll just, whenever the mood strikes me that I want to change colors, I think I will. I may just knit all of what I have and then switch. I don't know. I kind of have this feeling in the back of my head saying, no, I think I will maybe just do a little bit more and then take out the pumpkin spice and do the Let It Glow and the Out and About. I think so. It's going to be a few more ends to weave in, but I think I'm going to like smaller chunks because this isn't going to be a real big project anyways. So I think that's what I will do. Anything else? Do I have anything else to show? I don't. Oh, my sock. My sock. That's what else is in here. My sock. I have done only a few more rounds on my sock. This is the Wildflower Wool Knit Along sock. So if anybody out there is knitting Christmas socks, if you have some pretty sock yarn that you're working on, if you think you can get it done for Saturday night, December the 4th, then I think it's the 4th or the 5th. I think it's the 4th is Saturday night. I'll probably close the Ravelry thread on the 5th. So you've got till, you know, you've got all Saturday to get your Christmas socks finished. If you are doing Christmas socks, post them on Instagram and use the hashtag WW ChristmasSocks2021. And then that way I will see them and I will reshare your picture so everybody else can see your fun yarn and the sock pattern that you're doing. And then once you're finished, when you've got the pair finished, go over to Wildflower Wool's Ravelry group and post your finish in there. And if for some of you, some people don't use Ravelry, if you don't or have trouble getting pictures uploaded or whatever, post a picture in Instagram, tag me at Wildflower Wool, and just say, hey, Louise, can you post this, put this into the Ravelry thread? And then make sure I answer you back saying done or you're in or something, just so I, don't miss your comment or something. So anyway, all I have done on this sock since last week is this last red pattern stripe. And I've done a couple, can you see that they're just the beginnings of a solid red stripe. So I am loving these, and I'm missing knitting on these. I've been knitting everything else. I meant the blanket, the mitt, and the cowl, and this was kind of what got put on the back burner. I did get a few rows done, but if I'm going to get, this is only sock 1. I know, I can hear the size. I can hear the size. I know it's only sock 1, but I guess there was a little reason why it got put on hold, was because I'm going to do that magic heel in this sock. I purchased the magic heel sock pattern a couple of weeks ago, and I just actually looked at it on the weekend. So I had to do a little guessing because her pattern is wrote doing stripes. So it looks like it's a great pattern if you've got minis or leftovers and you want to do scrappy socks, because she tells you in line by line what color to use and how many rows to do. So I did a little work at counting all the rows to see how many rows she had done for her leg and how many rows she had done for the heel. And then I'm thinking that I'll be good to knit my sock, the leg, the length that I want, where I would normally start a heel flap if I was doing heel flap and gusset, and then work the ribbing. So that's what I'm going to do. This is going to be a little test to see, well, if my measurements work out and I get the heel in the right spot, and to then wear the sock and see how I like the heel. A lot of people have been telling me that they like it, but you never really know unless you actually try it for yourself. Okay, so Amber's saying you've done a heel flap and gusset and now you're on the foot. Oh gosh, I know. See, Amber's gonna have 2 pairs of Christmas socks done before I get my one done. We all know that, and that's okay. I'm fine with that, Amber. I know you said you're already, you had the gusset and you're on the foot. That's what you just typed there, right? So you're zooming along, which is great, on both your Christmas socks. Okay, that's okay. I'm fine with that. I'm happy for you, Amber. I will just, I will try to catch you. How's that? I will try to catch you. Anyway, that is my knitting for this week. Overall, pretty happy. I always think every time I sit down and pull it all out, I'm like, oh, I wish I'd gotten more done. But, there's only so many hours in the day. So I'm really happy. And as long as I keep this blanket on track, because I really have high hopes for gifting it finished Christmas Eve. And it's doable because it is such big needles and big yarn. I think it can be done. Okay, so Jocelyn's saying it's Monday. So are you casting something on, Jocelyn? So is anybody else casting anything on? Does anybody have any Christmas presents yet that you need to cast on? Because there is a hashtag New Start Monday Knits. If you're casting something on, and really, even if you're kind of casting it on this week or Monday, Tuesday, use the hashtag and then we can share it and everybody can see what you're casting on. It doesn't have to be Monday. we can be a little lax with the rules. So if you're starting something, post it and use the hashtag. So yes, Jocelyn's saying it's Monday. I could cast on something new. Exactly, because that's what Mondays are for. It's a brand new week. It's a brand new knitting week, full of possibilities and opportunities and a new chance to start something. And then once, because you can't finish unless you start. That's kind of my whole motto, right? Is like even around the anything when I'm in that stage of picking the needles, doing the gauge swatch, figuring out the pattern, I just find that takes so much mental energy, and sometimes I put it off for a few days because I think, oh my gosh, I got to think. I have to think. That's my problem. But then once I get all that figuring out, I know what I'm going to do, I get cast on, then it's like all that extra work and thinking, mental processing is all gone. And then I can just knit merrily away. And once it's on the needles, then I'm off to the races. So that's why that's how the whole New Start Monday got started, was I wanted to have all these things figured out in a project bag and I could just pick them up and work on them whenever I wanted to. Never really figured out a whole thing about how to actually get them finished, but I don't know. That's, I get a few things finished, so it's not I don't know. I don't worry. Having lots of unfinished projects doesn't stress me out. I know some people, they say it does stress them out. It doesn't bother me at all. So yes, so what Jocelyn, yes, totally. A Christmas sock. Oh, you do have Christmas sock. Oh yes. And Jocelyn, sorry. Jocelyn, you finished mitts, didn't you? Fingerless mitts. That I saw you working on those. Yes, totally cast on Christmas socks. I mean, it is literally the season for Christmas socks. If you don't cast them on now, when will you? Well, I mean, you've got you have 32 days to do it, but the sooner you cast on, the sooner you can finish, and then you can wear them and enjoy them, right? And oh, Sam says she's busy with her dishcloths. Wonderful. Diane, your husband wants a colorwork sweater for his Christmas party. December 11th. Okay, that's even making me think, I don't know. Are you going to do it, Diane? I mean, if you don't start, you can't finish. So maybe you should. Oh, you ordered the yarn from Knit Picks, hoping it comes by Wednesday. All right, Diane, you are going to have to keep us posted on this and keep us updated. December 11th. You can do it. You can do it. Nobody here is going to say not do it. Yes, do it. You've got lots of knitting time. Do you know the pattern you're going to do? Is this supposed to be like an ugly sweater party, or is it anyways, Diane, okay, I'm excited. I can't wait to see what you come up with. So is it worsted weight? Is it chunky? Please tell me it's not fingering. Well, I mean, but okay. Give us some more details, Diane. Oh, Amber saying, hey, that's a great idea. Yes. So Jocelyn, did you see Amber said that when you and I do our check-in, so Jocelyn and I always do a check-in live here on the Wildflower Wool YouTube channel, the first Thursday of the month. So that is going to be December, is it December 2nd? I'm not sure. It's only a couple of weeks away. And yes, Amber says we should both wear Christmas colors. Maybe we should. Maybe we should. That would be fun. Oh, Jocelyn, you have a red cardigan. Does that count as Xmas? Sure, it's red. Sure. I own nothing red, you guys, because I don't really like red, except for Christmas time. But I don't know. I'll have to think about that. Amber, you make, oh no, that was Anne. Anne said you're continually after the races. I know, well, I like to be optimistic. Jen, you okay, you started and you're hoping to finish your 6 out of 8 pairs of colorwork mittens that you need to finish for the weekend. Okay, well, okay, 6 out of 8. So 6, 7, 8. So you've got 3 pairs to do by the weekend. Colorwork mittens. Mittens go fast. Are they, what weight of yarn? Is it a worsted? Anyways, okay, so Diane's saying yes. So that must mean it's a worsted weight yarn that you ordered. So Jocelyn, you weren't going to cast on the socks, but now you are. Of course you are. Just do it. Just do it. It's the one that I did a test knit for. Oh, that's the pattern? Oh, so you've already knit it once? So you can just like practically do it in your sleep then, Diane. Good. Rockets. Oh, rocket. Okay, well, fantastic. And it is worsted. Good. Oh, Lynn. Okay, sorry, Lynn. So Lynn says she gets anxious just hearing about the whips. You're a one project at a time sort of girl. See, you know what, Lynn? I have I have fleeting moments where I do one project at a time. Like last year when Jocelyn and I did the 2-week sweater challenge, I did one project. I did that sweater because I was going to get that done no matter what. And I know it was like this epiphany moment. I'm like, you can actually get stuff done when you only work on one project at a time, right? But then like everything else, you know, that excitement fades and then you fall back into your old ways, right? No matter what it is, if it's around, you know, exercising or eating healthy or whatever, all those things that we know we should do, our old habits just pull us back in, right? And I know every once in a while I will sit and I will work dedicated on a project and I know, and it's like this light bulb moment of like, oh my gosh, I got it done. How did that happen? I know. And then I think, oh, I need to do this all the time, but then I just can't. I just can't do it. I don't know. Lynn, maybe you need to send me your one at a time vibes or something. Maybe that's what. Oh my God. Well, Diane, that is perfect. So your husband builds rocket engines for Virgin Orbit. Then he does really kind of need that sweater for his Christmas party. How are you at having, you know, sleepless nights, Diane? Well, I mean, but okay, make sure you do some hand stretches, okay? We don't need you having like sore hands or anything after this. But how perfect would that be for his Christmas party? Oh, Jen, oh, your mitts, bulky, lopey. They'll be wonderful. They'll be so nice and warm, and they will knit quick. They will knit quick. So you're good. So when you say by the weekend, are you saying Saturday or Sunday? Do you have an extra day in there? But yes, you'll have those done. Because I mean, you could do one, but you need 6, 3 pairs, which means 6 mitts. Oh yeah, and it's only Monday. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, like 1 mitt a day? Not even have to stress about that. Easy, Jen. I mean, even if you need them for Friday night, you could still do it, right? Sleep. Who needs sleep? I know. Yeah, Diane, you may be a little short on sleep this month, but you can catch up the night after the party, right? Jen, 10 days. And you have done a pair a day so far. Okay, so you're going to have days to spare. You can make extras. That's great. Oh, that's good. So you're gifting mitts. Oh, I love it. Lopey mitts are always so nice and warm. Fantastic. So how's everybody else's Christmas knitting go? I feel like this is going to be like an every Monday or every time, like Friday nights, checking in with people's Christmas knitting. And I think what I'm really asking is, when I'm asking how your Christmas knitting is coming, I'm really wanting you guys to say, I'm on track, I'm doing well, And then I am just going to embody that with my blanket knitting. And I actually have another gift that I have to knit that I haven't mentioned yet, because mostly, well, because I haven't started it yet. But I'm thinking that will be a December project. I'm not going to start that in the next couple of weeks because I want to focus on what I have to work, what I have started right now. So Amber, no Christmas knitting for you? That's good. Oh, you're not, Sherry, you're not doing any Christmas knitting either? I know, you know what? I tried one year to say no Christmas knitting because I always, I don't know, I have a hard time getting it done. So I had thought a couple of years ago, I thought, okay, forget about it. Scrap the Christmas knitting because then I need everybody's gifts on the same day. You know, forgetting that I have a whole year to plan for this, you know. And I thought, no, forget about Christmas presents. I'm going to do birthday presents. And oh, is Jocelyn heading out? Jocelyn, if you're leaving, bye. Thanks for hanging out with us. And so I thought, okay, birthday presents. I can do birthday presents. But see, I probably thought about that. Oh, Sam, are you heading out? Bye, Sam. Happy knitting. I thought, I probably figured I would do the birthday thing when my Christmas knitting realizations were that I wasn't going to get stuff finished right. But there again, I was already, I had already lost out on the whole birthday thing because my nephew's birthday is January 2nd. So, you know, if I didn't have any birthdays until February, you know, maybe I could have had some time to get them going, but I had one in January, two within 3 days in February, two in March. So again, I tried that and failed miserably, and I gave up on that too and went back to just doing Christmas knitting. I don't know. I just think I need to have a better plan for my gift knitting, but someday. But so far, I'm feeling pretty optimistic with what I've got. I'm not stressing at all about it. I'm just watching Christmas movies, enjoying my Christmas lights and putting up decorations, and just really enjoying the whole Christmas season. I'm getting ready to do some Christmas baking as well, which I'm really super excited about. Oh, so anyways, okay, so we've got about 8 minutes left here until we're at the hour mark. So everybody sounds like they're working on some great projects. I'm just going to take a quick peek back here. Oh, yes. Okay. Amber's reminding me, I said I was going to get 2 pairs of Christmas socks done. Yes, I did say that. I wanted to do this pair here in November, and so I could wear them, you know, at the beginning of December, and then cast on another pair because I have a few more balls of Christmas sock yarn in my stash. Bye, Walter. Thanks for hanging out with us. Have a great week. And so this will probably be another New Start Monday project in December that you guys can help me decide what other Christmas sock yarn I will. I will knit. But I'm really feeling now that I'm really more comfortable with what that heel is and where I have to go, because honestly, in the back of my head, I know I was thinking I don't want to knit too far and then all of a sudden look at the magic heel pattern and realize like, oh darn, I was supposed to have done something back 2 or 3 inches ago. So that's why I had just kind of slowed down on the sock knitting. But now I know I only have a couple of inches to go and then I can start the heel. Now I can just carry on. Oh, Diane. Hi, Diane. Snowflakes, angels, balls, and balls. So, oh my gosh, that takes me into December. December for the Fiber Friends. It is the whole month long is ornament knitting. And I have some fun things lined up for that. When Diane said Christmas balls, yes. Jocelyn's saying yes, but the February 2-week sweater challenge, I can't wait for. I'm so excited. I know, I'm excited too. So for February, Jocelyn and I, and we'll talk about the exact dates of the 2-week sweater challenge. We're going to roll that. The Fiber Friends, Jocelyn, I hope you're fine with this, but the Fiber Friends, we're going to kind of jump in on this too. And we're going to make February be our sweater challenge month. So people can kind of decide if they want to do a sweater over the whole month, or if they really want to try and do the actual 2-week challenge and see how far you get. So everybody can decide, see what works for you, right? But I know I'm really excited about the 2-week sweater challenge too. And yeah, I think I know what yarn I'm using for that. I'm not entirely sure. That's going to be an after Christmas thing. But if you're just joining us for the first time and you're hearing about the 2-week sweater knitting challenge, Jocelyn and I did that last week, 2 weeks in February, which was a great time, right? February, it's cold, it's snowy, it's wintry, and it was nice to take that 2 weeks and work on the sweater. We used chunky weight, bulky weight yarn, and we both got our sweaters finished. It was a really, really fun challenge. That's how our once a month Thursday challenges ended up evolving out of, because this 2-week sweater challenge, we went live, so 3 Thursdays. The first Thursday that we started, the beginning of the second week, and then, yeah, so there's 3 Thursdays. And then we had so much fun going live and kind of talking about our progress as we were doing this 2-week challenge, that we decided that we would just do a check-in once a month. And it's been a lot of fun. So yeah, it's hard to believe that last year, oh yes, what did I say? The 2-week sweater challenge, it was last February. Yes, that Jocelyn and I did it. And it's hard to believe that it's coming around again, that it has been almost a year. Time really, truly does fly. So start thinking about your yarn and a pattern. I mean, anything goes. You can do whatever pattern you want. You can do whatever yarn you want. If you want to do a number 6 bulky, if you want to do a super bulky, if you want to do worsted, if you want to do fingering. I mean, oh, did I say week? Oh my gosh. I said last week. Last week. No, wasn't last week. Oh my gosh. Anyways, yes, last February. Thank you, Susanna, for catching that. Yeah, it was fun. So it's the whole idea is that Jocelyn and I had so much fun doing the 2-week sweater challenges that we thought, you know what, we're going to do this again, and we're going to open it up for everybody else to have fun right along with us. So keep that in your, look in your stash, think about ordering or going to your local yarn shop, whatever, and take a look for yarn. Because I know February will be here before we know it. Christmas will be here and gone in like no time. And then it'll be sweater challenge time. So, all right, guys. Well, thank you so much. I see we're just, just a couple minutes from being a whole hour on here live. So this is fun. It's always great chatting with everybody. It's a great way to start the day or start the week. Just starting the day off with the voting for the projects is always fun. And then ending my Monday sitting here and visiting with all of you. It's so much fun. I'm going to wind my yarn, my red and my white yarn, so I can get started. I've got 2 inches of blanket knitting that I need to do. And maybe work a little bit on my sock, because I would really like to get my socks finished for my own knit along. That would just shock everybody. And I really want to do that. So I think I'm just going to kick back here now and watch at least 1, maybe 2 Christmas movies. Diane, I think I'm going to be like you. I think my sleep is going to start getting shorter and shorter. The closer it gets to Christmas, the less hours of sleep I'm going to have. Trying to get all these projects done. So everybody have a great Monday night. Maybe put on a Christmas movie before you head off to bed tonight. Have a super great week. Get lots of knitting time in. Hopefully your Christmas knitting stays on track this week. And I will catch you all either Friday night live in the Fiber Friends Friday night knitting group on Facebook, or I will see you all again here next Monday with a new start and hopefully some good progress on all the rest of these projects that I showed you tonight. So everybody, thank you so much for hanging out with us, and I will see you all soon. Happy knitting, guys.